Stand by.
Hey guys, I just got back in from another competition. This one was a sport called IDPA, which stands for International Defensive Pistol Association. A lot of competitive shooting sports really focus heavily on some really tricked out equipment, really expensive, specialized guns that aren't really practical in real life. And IDPA is a reaction to that to try and make a shooting sport that's more practical and geared towards real life scenarios. So the equipment you use is something that you might actually carry for a defensive pistol. And they kind of say if the gear is designed for competition, it's not legal in IDPA. Something else you have to do is most of the time you're firing with a concealment garment. So that's something covering your gun. I wear a vest. Some guys wear long shirts. So another thing about IDPA is it scored time plus penalties. So your raw time is how long it takes you to shoot the entire stage, but then they add in penalties. And a penalty could be something like dropping a partially full magazine, missing a target, hitting a hostage target you're not supposed to shoot. And then also even the targets you shoot, depending on where you hit the target, can add in extra time. So they take the target you hit, add in the time from that, they take your penalties, they add that to your raw time, and that gives you your total time, and that's how it's scored. Lowest time wins. But for IDPA, I'm a little bit different. I actually shoot a revolver, and this is a revolver I picked up about a year ago. It's chambered in .357, but I'm actually shooting 38 plus P out of it, which is a hot-loaded 38 special cartridge. But I also hand load and reload for this gun, so I can make my own ammo, and I can make very good ammo much cheaper than I can even buy it. I'm about 20 cents per round is what it costs for me to reload this ammo. When comparably at Bass Pro Shop, this would be about a 75-cent per round bullet. So I'm reloading for it. I get great ammo at much cheaper prices. But with the revolver, there's a few pros and a lot of cons when it comes to competition. One of the pros is that it's very accurate. It's also heavy, so it doesn't move around a lot under recoil. But definitely the big con is ammo capacity and speed of reloading. I'm using speed loaders, which is a little plastic holder that contains 6 bullets, and you can push it into the cylinder. It drops all 6 bullets into the cylinder, then you drop the speed loader and you're back in action. But even with the speed loader, it's not nearly as fast as a semi-auto, and you'll see some of that in this footage today. Let's see how I did. So the first stage was pretty cool. In keeping with that realistic defensive pistol scenario, this kind of sets up that you're in a restaurant. So you're started seating at a table. You're holding actually it's the range card, but you're calling it a menu in your hand. When the timer goes off, you have a do not shoot target in front of you next to 2 shoot targets. So you pick your gun off the table, you fire at the 2 targets next to the do not shoot hostage target. Once you've hit those 2 targets, you get up, move to your next position. There's a metal target you shoot, and when you hit the metal target, it spins a paper target. You get only a short amount of time to hit that paper target twice. And then you move to your third shooting position, and there's 2 more paper targets. Let's take a look at it.
Looks like it's gonna be. The venue can definitely see.
So definitely not my most proudest moment. Had those first stage butterflies that I get sometimes. Hopefully I can knock those off later in the match. But my raw time was 40 seconds. When I added in the penalties, it came to 78 seconds. And then I was 23 out of 23, so I was the slowest shooter today on the stage, but I was shooting with a revolver. But let's take a closer look and see kind of how I did here. With the ammo in the gun and my speed loaders, I have 18 rounds, which should be enough to finish. But we'll see what happens. So when the timer goes off, I pick the gun up. I'm supposed to shoot each target twice. I put 3 rounds on each target. That way my gun will be empty when I move to the next stage. So I reload here at this position. There's a metal target downrange, and I need to hit that metal target, and when it falls over, it'll spin a paper target for me. I had some trouble hitting that metal target, and then I realized if I hit it with the gun almost empty, I wouldn't have enough rounds to put on that paper target. So I reload here, and then I'm finally able to hit that metal target, and when it goes down, it spins this paper for just a quick second. I hit it once, I had one missile on it, but then I moved to the final position. I put 2 on one target, but then I run out of ammo. So I'm only able to shoot that last target one time. So that gives me a miss because I didn't have enough ammo to complete the stage. Okay, so on my stage 2, you're going to start in position 1. When the timer goes off, you're going to draw, and from retention, which is kind of like firing from the hip, you're going to put 3 rounds on the target right in front of you. It's real close, but firing from the hip like that involves some point shooting, so it can be a little difficult. You're then going to run to position 2, where you have 2 hostage targets and 2 shoot targets. You're going to shoot the shoot targets, 2 to the body, 1 to the head, while avoiding the hostage target. You're going to do both of those twice. So you shoot target 2, then you shoot target 3, then you shoot target 2, then you come back to target 3. Let's take a look at the run.
Ready, stand by.
Right, exactly.
It was just numbers, right? You know?
Hey, at least you kept shooting.
Yeah. I've been practicing. I actually didn't do one damn thing. Yeah. Yeah. And then last night I found out my
So my raw time was 43 seconds. With penalties, that knocked it up to 58. So 21 out of 23 overall. I'm starting to warm up a little bit, but definitely, you can have the best plan in the world, and when that timer goes off, it all kind of goes out the window. Let's see what happened to me here. So starting off, we're going to draw here and kind of fire from the hip at this real close target. After we put 3 rounds on that target, move behind the barricade, and then there's a target and a hostage no-shoot. Actually, there's 2 targets and 2 hostage no-shoots. You got to put 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Now, all the while avoiding those hostage targets. So I reload, and then I go and put 2 to the body, 1 to the head to my first target. And for some inexplicable reason, I decide right now is a good chance to reload, which was not. I get a penalty for dropping good ammo, and the gun wasn't empty. There was no need to reload. My brain just wasn't working too well that time. So I got 6 more rounds in the gun. I put 2 to the body, 1 to the head, and then 2 to the body, 1 to the head to finish this course of fire. So stage 3 is a lot of fun. It actually was simulating a carjacking. So you're starting sitting in the driver's seat of this van. When the timer goes off, you exit the van. There are 2 hostile targets with a hostage target right next to you that you need to put 2 rounds on each target. Once you do that, you have to shoot through the inside of the van and hit the shoot target, missing the hostage target, just 2 rounds on that, and then move to the back of the van and using the van as cover, engage 3 targets all the way at the back berm, and then a 4th target kind of tucked in there, 2 rounds to each target, using cover the whole time. Let's take a look at the run.
Don't mean to step on you, sorry.
So my raw time was 34 seconds. With penalties, it pushed it up to 52, depending on how I hit the target. And I think I did hit a hostage target in this one. So again, a lesson to my friends, if you're a hostage, I cannot be held responsible for that. So 22nd out of 23, I'm about where I've been. With my skill level and equipment, I'm not going to be smoking anybody. So this stage was a lot of fun. I get out, I got the 2 targets right there, engage both of them, and then fire at the 3rd target through the van. I'm then going to move to the back of the van and reload, and I managed to drop a speed loader. I put it in the cylinder, but instead of pressing all the way through, I just let go, and it fell with all the bullets in it. I picked it back up and put it in the gun and got the gun reloaded. There's 3 more targets out there at the berm. I engaged 2 rounds to each of those. I then need to reload. I did not drop the speed loader this time. I reload, And then there's one more target behind the van that I hit, 2 rounds, and that's pretty much it. But I'm having fun, so let's see how stage 4 goes. Now stage 4 is pretty confusing for me because there's 3 firing positions. You have to shoot from all 3, and then there's a mess of targets out there. So you have a little bit of leeway to decide how you're going to engage the different targets here. And then for me with the revolver, I'm ammo limited. So I have to think, how am I going to shoot these targets and when am I going to reload? So I'm going to try and start at position 1 and then work it from left to right, move to position 3, engage that swinging target, and then move back to position 2. Let's take a look at the run.
Shooters ready, stand by.
So my raw time was 39 seconds. With penalties, it came up to 60. So 21st out of 23 overall in that. I was actually real happy with this run. I had the swing target I only hit once when I was supposed to hit twice. But every other target I put rounds on and I didn't hit the hostage. So I think that's about, for me, that's a good run. I could always smooth it out, but there wasn't anything that I really felt bad about this stage on. Let's take another look at it. So you start with your back to the target. When the buzzer goes off, you turn and draw. And I'm going to work from left to right and put 2 rounds on each paper target, but I'm going to leave that metal popper for last. So my cylinder's about to be empty. I go for the reload. I'm going to hit that popper and then move to the far right with the gun with 4 rounds in the gun. So I hit that paper, that knocks my popper down. I go over, now there's this swinging target back and forth. From where I'm standing, the barrels kind of obscure it, so I need to hit it twice. So I put my rounds down there, go and reload the gun. There's one more paper target down there. I'm going to hit it twice. And actually put an extra round on it for added value, because why not? Overall for the day, out of 23 shooters, I placed 22nd, which is about where I kind of expect to be. I did come in first in revolver, because I was the only revolver shooter today. But had a lot of fun. It definitely showed me where I need to improve. My pistol marksmanship is definitely something I should work on. But it's just a fun day. It wasn't nearly as hot as it's been these past couple of months, so it was good to get out today. Thanks for everybody that helped with the match. Thanks for Ian for designing and running everything, for everyone that helped set up stages. I had a really good time, and I hope to see you guys again soon.